I think we have a quorum, and it is 5:40, 5:51? Is that what it is?
5:54.
Okay, 5:54, and we have a quorum, so we're gonna call to order. We need to approve the minutes from the April 17th, I thought it was 24th.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And ayes have it. Are there any public comments at this time that anybody want to speak on the agenda that we have? Seeing none, we'll go on. And we've got the Director of Public Works, Mr. Robert Baines, here, and he's going to explain a few things for us, right? Look at him, look like you don't know what he's talking about.
Well, let me do it. I know you had some things you want to talk about first.
Well, then, okay, then we'll just give it to the big guy.
Yeah. Well, here is 3 sheets.
Oh, wait, I don't have but 2.
One's yours.
Oh, okay.
I just, me and Robert worked together on these and just,
Is there another sheet available there?
Here, you can have mine, because I got,
no, you're, yeah, couldn't give them that, because you got new numbers.
okay.
You
Oh,
don't have to-
really?
Thank you.
Yeah, we do.
So,
Oh, bad.
you'll see the item, last time we met was on April 24th, of course, and you'll see the items there that you guys have approved, either through this committee or has been approved through the commission. So you've done those things, and I checked with Aaron and Labranya, and so those have all been paid for. That's about $1,710,000 is what that is. And then below that, you'll see there are 4 items there that you have obligated funds to that we need to account for, that are spoken for, we just haven't been paid for yet. And as of October the 23rd, according to Mr. Maynard, we had about $14 million projected in our fund balance for capital projects. If you flip over to the next page, you can see that if you had the 14.201, the approved items that you have obligated was 1.7, and then not yet paid for 2.88. You're looking at about 9.6 left to spend at this time. So the following items on here are the ones that you could consider tonight if you want to do that. I will talk about 2 or 3 of them and then let Robert talk about the rest. The election commission work behind the building, Robert will talk about. The ag extension building, you know, we've had that in front of you 2 or 3 times. There was some talk about the Tennessee Made building, would he want to go in there? We had some conversation, you know, if that got built. And the more and more that we talked, you know, he said, really what I'm trying to get away from is moving my stuff every time I gotta go have a canning session or a meeting. So I'd
Amen.
like to extend that area.
Amen.
So then we worked, and he was gonna pay for the design work, but we didn't want him to pay for the design work out of the UT Extension office unless you guys were really interested in spending the $800,000, which we estimated that might cost us. So we got that down, and he went and kinda got that approved. Then he had kind of a little hiccup where he bought some stuff with some money for the 4-H chicken shack. And they come back and told him that, hey, you can't be buying stuff with ag extension money and putting in a county-owned building. So he kinda got that all worked out, and he's back in good graces there. So, then the next hiccup that kinda came with that is Katz and Binkley said, hey, look, you know, here's what the cost is gonna be for the, to get the drawings done. He has the money for that. But then we're gonna follow the project, and that's gonna be $2,000 a month to do that. So kinda hicked up on that a little bit, so I called Jason Morris, and I said, Jason, you know, this is kind of a small project, and he said, well, I'll tell you what, he said, don't worry about that, we'll eat that. And so they were gonna still cover the project and follow it all the way through, and not really charge for that because they do so much other stuff for us anyway. So he was gonna knock that off. So that one's there for you to consider if you want to consider it tonight. The maintenance shop, is about, the bid, Robert did the bid on that other day. Now, the maintenance shop for the jail, if you remember, they knocked the maintenance shop down. And if you remember that and a couple of more items here, were while that first bid came in at about 50 million. If you remember, that came in about 50 million, we thought that was a lot, and we said, hey, look, let's shave some of that stuff off and rebid it. So we shaved some of the stuff off, and this was one of the issues here that we shaved off, was for that, the jail, the maintenance shop for the jail. And you'll see down here where it says paint book floor at the jail building, the cells and the shower repair. That's in the old part. That's, looks pretty rough right now if you go take a look at that on your own. So those two are two that you really consider. I don't know that we've got a lot of options, honestly, on the maintenance place for the jail. We gotta have somewhere for those guys to go, and we took them out of where they were. So that one is not a lot of option for us there. The USDA, the WEMA Training Center re-roof, I'll let Robert talk about that in a minute. The USDA parking lot resurfacing, I'll let him talk about that one too. The paint interior of the courthouse, 60,000. You've seen some of the work he's already done. It is looking a ton better, but he'll talk to you about that. And I'll talk to you about these last three right quick before I turn it over to him. WEMA Station 3 sewer connection from the manhole. Remember, this is the WEMA station that was built on Clemens Road. It's open, it's running. And the contract was to take the sewer out to the manhole, and we were gonna pump and haul until the sewer was brought in. We didn't bid that sewer connection because we didn't know when that sewer line was gonna come up. Somebody else is running it. Well, it's ran now, and so it's there. So this 38,222, which you'll see on the very next page, was what I met with Steve Robinson and Joe Haddocks and Mike Mattis about the other day. That is, as you'll see in the first line up there, A through F, that's what that will do. That will fill up that manhole that was there for the pump and haul with concrete, clean that out, and then run the line across the road over to the sewer line that's there. We did put a sleeve in ahead of time so they won't tear the road up. That part was done, so we don't pay for that again. But the 38,225 is what that cost would be to you. So that's on sewer connection 3 to get live sewer for Station 3. Station 10, and once we get through this, I'll answer any questions you got for me. Station 10, the Mount Juliet Fire Marshal came and said, hey, look, you're gonna need a fire hydrant. Long story short on this one, there was a fire hydrant planned there out on Central Pike on the public line. And the guy that runs the Gladeview Utility District said, hang on, we don't wanna do that because it's so close to a fire station. Somebody could use it inappropriately, filling up the tanks or whatever, and we don't eat that cost no more. Used to, the fire hydrants, when the fire department used it out on the public side, they just ate the cost. Now, most of these fire hydrants are on the private side, and somebody else pays for that if they tap into your water to put your fire out at your house. So we moved it back on our side. We moved it back on the private side, and we was gonna put it beside the box that's there, and they said that's too close, so they moved it on our water line side, and to where it would, if we use it, it will be at our dime on the water, okay? And that is per Mount Juliet Fire Marshal said that we had to have one. And WEMA Station 10 and 3 electrical inspection requires, again, a Mount Juliet Fire Marshal goes in and says, hey, look, normally on your fire station, they're considered commercial, so we didn't have to make you have an arc fault breaker on the electric plugs, but since the people live there, we consider this half commercial, half residential. You must have these arc breakers in there, and so that is another cost of, that's for both stations, but that's a cost of $10,014.
So
Yes, sir.
we're paying for that twice? Or,
Nope.
well, we had to put something in.
So you just got a regular breaker in there right now.
Right.
And so
So-
now they gotta come back and put the arc fault in there according to the fire marshal. Yeah,
Expensive breaker.
yeah.
That's a lot of things.
Sounds like
And
we
it's
don't
for-
build
it
enough
is
What's a
fire
regular
stations.
breaker cost, do you know?
I really don't know, and this one here evidently reacts to mist, not just like the one you have at your sink right now. If you get water in it, it'll click off right there. This one actually reacts to mist that's in the air to protect the people that are living there.
And you'll be replacing it in about 3 or 4 years too.
Mm.
Can you
So-
trade the old one in? Can you trade the old one in, and get money?
I am sure that they are,
That's part of that, right?
You know
Yeah.
better than that, John.
I'm sure they're doing that. So those on the
So
WEMA
it's not
side,
surplus.
really, not necessarily an option for us either.
So that,
ahead.
the number 3
Yeah,
sewer connection in the sleeve, that, is this the one, we only put one sleeve in and this is it?
no, so
Okay.
we hadn't
Okay,
got,
that's- I'm
we
good.
hadn't got to 10.
Right.
So when we get to 10, if they ever run the sewer down through there, we're ready for that, but
Right.
we'll have to do the same thing when we pay for that one.
Okay.
Yeah, they just didn't bid it because they didn't know where the line was gonna be and no specs enough to do that ahead of time. So this is not an overage, it's just one of those things that now we got sewer, so now we gotta take care of it. What, any other questions you got for me on the maintenance shop or on the, any of those 3 items on WEMA before I give it to Robert? Any questions?
On WEMA, we didn't lock into any type of contracting with the current pumping situation, right? Is
You
it
have to
a,
get a permit to do it, and then
Okay.
you pay a company to come and do it as often as you need, and
As
you
long as
pay
you
as you
need.
go,
pay as you go?
so we're
Okay.
good to go there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't need that one too
A whole
long.
lot.
yeah, which is good.
Yeah.
Anything else? Any questions? Anybody? John?
The resurfacing of a lot for $130,000?
I'll let Robert talk about that. I'm out of that one.
I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
I know the city of Lebanon has a company that they use. They contract at the airport, they've done it there, they've done some parking lots out there. And that's who they use normally. Are we doing that kind of thing? Do we have a contractor? Like we don't have a contract with anyone to do that? Okay.
Madam Chairman, may I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Being on the ag extension and being from, whence my background came, I strongly encourage you guys to fund the ag extension building, but do not fund the parking lot until the ag extension building is built, so you might tear the parking lot up. Thank you, Robert, for that nod, sir. Thank you.
Good thinking.
Well, just pass that to Robert.
I don't thought about that until, I just didn't know if it was still dead in the water, or if it's still gonna, go through that.
They're trying to teach classes out there, and they cannot teach classes, they don't have the facility, the kitchen and those type of ag facilities, it's a training center facility. And they have to go somewhere at fairgrounds and move their equipment, it's just a cluster.
Madam Chair, I have another question. Several years ago, we tried to extend that building,
Yes,
and it was not proper to do that, we couldn't do it. So how are we gonna extend it this time? What are we gonna do?
Several years ago, you did bid it out, but it was more money you wanted to spend, and so you didn't spend it. It was back when Jeff Jones was here, and
I thought there was a limit.
no,
No,
no.
it's-
It was
it-
the
it
was
extension,
money.
it was the money, right?
it was the money. And,
Okay.
and so Castle Bank, they just took those plans and redid those on the electrical and the mechanical. That's why they didn't charge us the same, as much money this time for the second time
But it'd be
around.
the same basic design.
It's the same
as
thing.
before.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Are you done?
sir.
Any more questions?
I know there's some, Robert's got some stuff to talk about, like on that USDA parking lot, they are doing some other work out there right now.
Yeah, when they dug the water line out there, they tore the parking lot up. Conrad is going through, and Conrad is digging out that pre-patch they did. They're coming in with the final coat, but again, the parking lot was in bad shape, at that point. So my thing was, I knew that the extension was trying to get the money to, extend that one into the building. So I didn't wanna do anything, but when I thought it was kinda dead, I got a price. But my whole thing was, I was gonna hold off until we,
The
if you
end.
do decide to do the
Connected
expansion, then we'll do the parking lot after that.
And I will say this, in case any of you go back and take this sheet of paper, on this front item, y'all approved sometime more money for these items than we actually spent. But I just put down the amount of money that we actually spent.
Right.
So there'll be some of those that you'll see if you go back and look at your notes, you say, we approved this much, but you only got this much down. We just wrote down the amount of money that you actually spent.
So the ag extension building would be extended on the back, in the USDA parking lot,
On the end,
End,
on the,
it's gonna
well,
come out towards the.
right, but
towards the
in that,
road.
the same building as the USDA parking lot?
Yes, sir.
yes, well, that's together.
Yeah, they just, I mean, I'm assuming they're thinking they may tear up something while they're doing the construction, but,
So you're just
It's
gonna
going-
widen it, right?
yeah, just widen it.
Lengthen
That's
it,
what,
lengthen
or
it.
lengthen it,
Lengthen
yeah.
the building.
That's what it was before, okay.
Gonna lengthen it back toward,
The-
The fair-
toward-
The entrance.
Towards the convenience center. They're gonna
Yeah.
take from the end that's facing the convenience center and come towards that road, cut those trees down right there. So when you pull and go into the convenience center, it'll be pretty close to that road.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Okay, we'll turn it over to Robert. You're on, buddy. Come on. Should have a bite.
So if you remember, we got the engineering work done. We've had the election commission parking lot bid out. That number was around $400,000, and that's gonna include getting the water from getting inside the building. It's gonna change the parking lot layout there. Talked to the city about also opening up the back end on Thomas Terrace there, so we can exit out that way and use that side of the parking lot there for early boating times there. So we're gonna, gain about, it's gonna be about 51 total slots whenever we need it. And it's really congested over there now. If you've been there when early boating's been going on, that middle row there is really tight, and there's sometimes you can't get down through there, especially if you got a big truck parked in there or several trucks in there. So, this is gonna, take care of all that, build up that drainage area there, get the water flowing in the right direction, have some underground drainage going to the wastewater and everything. So, it's gonna be a win-win situation for them. We're gonna put some bollards in the front, make it look a lot nicer, keep some security there, keep anybody from trying to come through with a vehicle or anything like that also. So it's gonna be a win-win situation, I think, for them, and make the building and flow a lot better over there.
Is there right away with Thomas Terrace?
That used to be used all the time, and the city just blocked it off to keep people from coming through there. I talked to my brother about it, and he said, yeah, it's just, they just barricaded it there, and it can be used, or, the 10 to 15 days of early boating, it can be used. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So that's the item we got, to be to get that work started. There is 400,000 for that. The other thing, of course, the mayor's talked about our maintenance shop at the jail. It's gonna be around 2,600 square feet. That's what we're gonna get there. Plenty of room for storage. My guys are now in a small area in the judicial, where the judicial commissioners used to be. The 4 guys are in there right now, occupying that up, and they're pretty tight, but it's gonna be a good thing for us to have more room, storage, area to work on things in the shop area. So it's gonna be a nice little addition for our maintenance staff there.
Robert, just for the sake of argument, the maintenance shop, if you approve it tonight, it has been bid out, and it was 800 something, we just rounded to
less.
900.
Yes, sir.
So so that's an accurate number. As for that ag extension building at 800, that is an estimate.
Mhm.
So just so we'll both know
Is
that.
that
And then-
controlled, temperature controlled too,
Which one?
the maintenance shop?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
The other one was not though, I don't believe.
No.
Yeah.
And the election commission work, it's not been bid, has it, Robert?
It's been bid. That's the number for it.
That's the number, so we're good to go on that one, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Then the EMA training center re-roof. I guess I've had insurance look at that roof. We've had several shingles and everything blown off of it. It's just not enough for them to say, hey, we're gonna take care of it. So again, we're just worried about the wind blowing the right direction, water getting in it, and having more damage to deal with outside of that. So $38,000 to get that re-roofed. We'll just move on past the USD parking lot.
Is that estimate on the 38 or actual?
That is a very hard estimate. And then, of course, you approve the money for the windows here at the courthouse. That's been approved. I'm meeting with them Thursday on when we're gonna start the install process for the windows. So I do not wanna do any kind of painting until that is complete, to see what we may need to do once the windows do come out. But I do have a hard estimate on that, 60,000, to paint all our exterior offices And then some interior, one to commission room, and then assessor downstairs. To get all those offices painted, the trim painted, everything done and complete. That was $60,000 for it. And then we just got the bids in today to repair the floors, paint the building one that we're remodeling right now with new doors and cameras and things in building one at the jail. Those, to get all that done, was around $200,000 for it. So those are the projects I have on the block right now.
What kind of paint?
It would be a semi-gloss paint. That's what the color of the jail is now, that green that they use.
Okay, so it's not a, no, what's the word I'm looking for?
Epoxy or?
Yeah, epoxy.
Well, the floor will be epoxy. It'll be epoxy floor on the floor.
Okay, that's
It'll
what I
be
meant.
epoxy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
That originally wasn't in the bid
No.
to refurb?
It was, you took it out,
It's taken out.
right?
Paint for the floor at the jail and stuff, that's a,
The paint,
That's
it's
$100.
epoxy flooring for the jail. The paint will be the semi-gloss on the walls and the stairwell and everything.
the 200, there's a hard number.
Yes, sir, to open the bids today.
Okay.
Question, is that Sally Port?
No, sir, it's building one,
Okay.
Oh,
No
boy.
building,
the old building, yes, sir.
okay.
Okay.
That's all I have.
And so that adds up to about 26,
25.
I mean, 2.6 million.
Yes, sir, if you do all
Yes,
of
sir,
it.
do all of them.
But we're taking the parking lot out of it right now.
Yes,
Take that out,
yes.
okay? You wanna come back for the windows too, or you ready for, I mean, for the paint, but you really want that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
'Cause even though the windows are going in, you're ready. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, put off until the addition's finished.
So you're at 9.6, if you did the 2.6 or whatever that turns out to be close to it, that runs you down to, what, 7 million left in fund balance for the capital project side. Unless there's something you don't wanna do.
Okay. Just want to go down the list, is that what you want to do? Or you want to just, make a motion without the 130 and what else? Everything else has to stay, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything else stays, I think.
Yes.
Well, to get the discussion started, I'll make a motion that we approve everything on the list except the $130,000 for the parking lot.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Anything else? No?
Are there other projects that are in the hopper that are gonna be coming?
That we know of?
You know, I don't know of any on the maintenance side. I try to keep a schedule of the big things that are out there for.
That are gonna be asked out of capital projects, I guess, that we
I
know?
don't-
I mean, I know a heater could go out or
Yeah.
Yeah.
AC unit could go out, but
Yeah.
there's nothing, this would catch us up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to my knowledge, you know, the design of the Central Pike Elementary will normally be done by the Board of Education. He's been good about doing that part. And I don't have anything else that I see in here that, unless Aaron knows of something I don't know about.
I'm not aware of anything.
Check me. Okay, if you took 138,000 out of 2,598,000, let's see if I did it right. 2,468,129.
That's what I got.
No, well, okay then.
Okay.
That's what we
You
need.
don't need me then.
Why didn't you say so? Okay, so I have a motion and a second to approve these, projects with the exception of the, resurfacing the parking lot over at the USDA office, and we'll do that after the extension office has the new addition on it, for a total of $2,468,129. We got a motion and a second. We can vote now. Any ayes?
Aye.
Any noes? Ayes have it. Why are you grinning?
I think you're doing the right thing.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Thank y'all.
What else? Giddy up.
Is that, we moved that to the old church? Is that what they're-
No, you have to wing it.
Yeah, training center.
Got anything else?
I could try to get some insurance money.
Anybody else got anything? Mike needs to go to another place, so we probably ought to wrap it up.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mr. Marlowe.